Come to the door.
Sheriff's Department, open the door.
It's 9 p.m. in Franklin County, Missouri.
Sheriff's Department, come to the door.
Detective Corporal Jake Grellner and his narcotics squad are tracking two suspects thought to be hiding in this house.
Sheriff's office, get on the ground.
Get in there, right now. Don't move.
Don't move, get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
They've both served time in the past for making methamphetamine. This raid recovers a small amount of suspected meth, paraphernalia, and hundreds of pills believed to be cold medicine containing pseudoephedrine. My heart's racing. I don't know about yours.
It's another day at the office for us, I'm afraid.
The suspects can't be charged until the materials are analyzed in a lab. But they're sent back to prison for violating parole on their prior meth convictions. How big a problem is meth in Missouri?
It's huge. Every narcotics officer, every department, every police department that I know of is dealing in some way, shape, or form with methamphetamine. There's no time to do marijuana. There's no time to do cocaine, heroin, all those other drugs. Methamphetamine is so prevalent. One of the local police chiefs said in a recent interview that you're more likely to find methamphetamine in somebody's pocket than chewing gum.
About 80% of methamphetamine is mass-produced in so-called super labs in California and Mexico. But it's become so easy to make that small do-it-yourself labs are popping up by the thousands. That's because, as Jake Grellner showed us, the main ingredients used in meth are available almost everywhere. So what do you need to manufacture meth?
You have to start with cold tablets. You can't start anywhere else. You start out with your cold tablets. And then what you're going to need is a coffee grinder or a spice grinder to grind that up into a fine powder. You start mixing in some of the chemical solvents like acetone or heat, which is methanol, Coleman fuel, something along those lines, maybe even isopropyl alcohol.
This is what they're putting in their bodies?
And you're not seeing them wearing white lab coats, and there's not some guy looking over their shoulder making sure that their purification level is okay.
This is incredible, and this is the amount of space that you need for a lab.
You can put an entire meth lab into a 48-quart cooler or a tote, a truck box on the back of a pickup truck, and just haul it around with you. And that's the thing about meth labs is this is the first time in the country's history that you have the ability to feed your own addiction. You can manufacture what you need.
It's called cooking, and once you start cooking meth and smoking, snorting, injecting, or eating it, the craving for it grows. It floods the brain with the pleasure-inducing hormone dopamine, causing a high that lasts up to 12 hours and often leading to violent behavior. When you crash, you crave more.
Methamphetamine suddenly becomes this thing in their life that they can't do without. They can do without the hamster and the dog and the cat and the kids and the wife and the cars and the house and the job, but they can't do without meth. And they live each day to get us enough stuff to manufacture the next batch so they can get high again.
Meth is that bad, that addictive.
That addictive, that bad.
I lost everything. In a blink of an eye, it was gone. And I don't even know how I did it.
31-year-old was married with 3 children when she got hooked on meth. Within 5 years, she'd lost her job, her husband, and her home. She and the kids were living in the car when they moved in with a man who knew how to make the drug himself.
After that, it was uncontrollable. I couldn't control it. There was nobody that could control it. And I tried, no matter how hard I tried to control it, it wasn't going to happen.
Was living surrounded by containers of flammable ether, ammonia, starter fluid, and thousands of cold pills, cooking meth every day. In 2002, she was arrested and her children were taken away. You were making it at home? You were mixing these incredibly dangerous chemicals
at home.
At home?
At home.
With 3 children?
With 3 children.
They were breathing those fumes?
They were upstairs. They weren't around the fumes.
But you were still endangering your children.
Well, yeah. One move with that tank could have blew my whole house and me and my children sky high.
In 2003, Missouri had more meth labs than any state in America, so the legislature passed a law to limit the amount of pseudoephedrine cold tablets consumers can buy at one time.